The book of Revelation speaks of a mysterious figure known as the Great Beast, 666. This calls for wisdom. Let anyone with understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a person. Its number is 666. Revelation 13:16. But when it comes to the end times, interpretations vary among religious traditions and scholars just what or who 666 actually represents. And no matter what you've been told, there's no single definitive explanation. I grew up in a family big on the end times in the book of Revelation, so I heard a lot about the great beast 666. I've also heard 666 thrown around on pretty much anyone that someone doesn't like, kind of like the whole everyone I don't agree with is the Antichrist thing, which is used about as often as the term false teacher and false prophet around here when someone doesn't like historic or scholarly info that goes against their interpretation of the Bible. But some claim that the identity of the Antichrist is known with figures from church history and extra-biblical writings such as the Sibylline Oracles and the Ascension of Isaiah revealing who it was, or at least intimating who it was like. In the ancient world, there was a practice called Gematria, where numbers are assigned to Hebrew letters, like numerology. But ancient writers also used this for code. And in Jesus' time, this practice was in heavy use, especially amongst persecuted Jews, Judaizers, and early Christians. This is why the scripture reads, "Here is wisdom, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast." And as far as calculating 666, when using Gematria, you get Nero Caesar, who we call Nero Caesar, the great persecutor of Christians and Rome's emperor between 54 and 68 AD. And I'm going to break down for you how this works. Written in Aramaic and Hebrew and using Gematria, Nero's name can be valued at 666. This is Nero's name and title translated into Hebrew with its appropriate numbers. So what you do is you take the numbers represented by each letter and you just sum them up. It equals 666. So it appears we have a match. But let's be real, there's a few issues with this. The book of Revelation was probably written around 69 AD on the low end and 95 AD on the high end. There's a big range there. But Nero unalived himself in 68 AD. So why would the writer of Revelation write about Nero being the Antichrist if he was dead before it was written? Well, there was a widespread belief in the eastern provinces of the Roman Empire, like Judea, that Nero had either A, not really died and was preparing to return, or B, he was to be reborn in spirit. They thought this dude was that evil and that unaliving himself in disgrace during his exile from Rome, he was coming back from the dead to retake Rome and release serious vengeance upon those who wronged him. In fact, there were 3 leaders who led rebellions claiming that they were Nero reborn during this time. This is called the Nero Redivivus legend. But there's a problem with the Gematria thing definitively IDing Nero as 666 too, because using Gematria, you can say a whole ton of names equals 666. Nero, Vespasian, Domitian, Caligula, Hitler, Pol Pot, the Pope, even Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama. Basically, if there's someone you don't like and a name doesn't fit 666, just add a title or try switching it to a different language or a different spelling. We can make about any name in the world equal 666. But all that being said, we pretty much do know that 666 referred to Nero. How? Because some early translations of Revelation 13:18, such as Papyrus Fragment P115, don't feature 666 as the number of the beast. Instead, it's 616. And this is how historians and scholars know that 666 equals Nero Caesar. Because when transliterating Latin into Hebrew, to maintain the numerical equivalence using the principles of Gematria to spell out Nero's name, you have to intentionally adjust 666 to 616. The Latin version of the transliterated name drops the second nun so that it appears as Nero and transliterates into Hebrew as this, equaling 616. Now that's a pretty big indicator right there that it was common knowledge to those who understood how to calculate letters and early translators that the writer of Revelation meant Nero, because this adjustment would not work with other proposed names that match the 666 sum. Nero's name is unique in this regard, equaling 666 and 616. So does this answer the question of the identity of 666? The ancients thought they knew, or at least knew, who it was like. Is the world still waiting on the physical Antichrist, or has it already come and gone? Is it someone who is filled with the Antichrist spirit, like Nero Caesar, or has this prophecy already been fulfilled? Is history in the past, or does history repeat itself? That's up to you to decide, and I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. So, what are they? What are your thoughts? Drop them in the comments. God bless. See you soon.